Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Light Your Dream Team Training Call. This is Kathy Mahady, and I'm glad to have you on the call with us tonight, either live or listening to the recording later. Tonight we are going to talk about some of the most popular ways of retailing the candle during this fall holiday season. So we're going to talk about shows and booths tonight, and I'm going to give you kind of a highlight. We won't be able to address everything, but on our team training site, there's a very good document and some additional information. So we're going to kind of give you some highlights tonight and then leave a few moments here to answer any questions. And then, of course, if you would like to ask any questions on our Facebook group, the Light Your Dream Team Facebook group, make sure you ask the questions there instead of the company site, because others on the company won't be understanding what you are referring to, so make sure you do that on our company Facebook group, but we'll answer any questions that come up after you've had a chance to listen to the recording. So if you're new and not real familiar with our training site, it is the LearnBurnandEarn.com, and there's some tabs across the top of the page. So tonight we're dealing with retailing, and if you hover your mouse over that, then there are a couple of different options on how to retail. At the bottom of that is the booths and shows. So if you just click on that link, it'll take you to the page where some of the information that I'll be covering will be coming from. So be sure to check out that information. So as I said, we're coming into our prime fall and holiday season here. This is when people buy candles. So it's a great opportunity to make some extra money for yourself now so that you can enjoy a nice Christmas by selling some of our product here. So I want to first give you some ideas about how to find events, and there's various methods to do this. One way is to just look in your local newspaper, your community newspaper. They'll often list shows coming up, and they will be looking for vendors, so you can contact the coordinator from that event. You can go to the website eventlister.com. And this will give you some information about shows in your area. You can search by zip code in various locations. Then you can also just do a simple Google search. Type in the city name that you're looking for with the words like community calendar or local events, vendor shows, home business expos, any of those types of wording you can do a search for. You can also search on Facebook groups. There's multiple groups out there in any locale. They're often called local buy, sell, trade groups, so things like that. Again, just do a search on Facebook for groups that might lead you in the direction of some of these events. And then, being part of any home business-based direct sell groups as well. There'll be other vendors from other companies in those groups, and if you're doing a kind of a local business group, then they may have some suggestions for you as well as to some shows that may be coming up that they're participating in. So be sure to ask them for advice on shows that they have done and anything that's coming up. Now, when you do find a show that you want to register for, it's important that you get a little information and don't just jump in. You're going to want to get some information for the coordinator when you're signing up your registration. Ask them how many anticipated visitors that they're expecting, if this is a repeat show or if this is their first show. How many years have they done this event? Check with them on how they're going to advertise the group. You want to be sure that they are doing their job and getting the word out about your event so that you can have the greatest attendance. And then you also want to discuss with them what supplies are going to be provided to you at the show. Does your fee include a table, a sign, a chair, tablecloth? Is there electricity available? Be sure that you're understanding, how much the rent is for this booth. Is it a one-time fee that you're paying? Is it a portion of your profits? Or, are they just simply asking for a donation of either your profits or your product, for like a drawing? So be sure that you're understanding how much it is. And the fees can range greatly from, $25 up to thousands of dollars. You can have success at any level. You just want to pick something that's going to meet your needs, your time availability, and your budget. Obviously, the thousands of dollar shows tend to be more of the week-long or multi-day affairs like county fairs and state fairs and things like that. Some of the large expos that might be occurring at convention centers, and those might be a little beyond most people's budget and time availability. So really what we're advising is that you look for some of the smaller local community events that are being held in locations such as community centers, churches, schools, things like that. And these tend to be anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours. And so if you're new, this is a great way to kind of get in and get some experience. When you sign up, you want to be sure that you are registering as Sensations and Mia Bella Candles. You don't want to be using your company personal branding name, so that if somebody else from Mia Bella's is trying to register from the same event, the coordinator wants to be able to see that somebody else is already there. You don't want to end up stepping on somebody's toes because somebody else in our company is already at that event. So make sure that you register under both names, and go ahead and inquire of the coordinator. How many candle reps, how many companies are being represented at this event. And don't be fearful or shy away if they do tell you that there is going to be another candle vendor. That is perfectly okay. We are a unique company in that our candles are clean burning, so we have kind of an advantage in that. We offer wicked candles as well as the wax melts. So you can kind of tailor your inventory based upon maybe some of the competitors that are there. And even if it seems to be highly competitive in the candle market, remember that we have all kinds of other products that we can market as well with our hand lotion, the Bella bars, all of those do very well at shows. So, go ahead and place those into your inventories as your offerings at these shows as well. So an important question that many ask is, about inventory then. How much should someone bring to such a show? And it really depends upon the length of the show and the size of the attendance. Now, most of these shows around the holidays are going to be that 2 to 4 hour range, so it's really not necessary to be overburdened with inventory. In anything that we do in our business, we want to keep it simple. The more simple it is, the more attractive our product and our business is to someone else. If you overdo it, somebody viewing your booth may not be interested in becoming a business partner because they see that it appears to be a lot of work. So the simpler you keep it, the better. The less distracting your booth is, the better. Let people focus on just a few items. So don't feel that you need to stock every item in our inventory. You want to focus on the most popular items, which tends to be our 9-ounce and 16-ounce jars. And again, depending on your budget, you may want to have around a dozen jars. If you can do a little more, the show's a little longer, try to get a couple dozen. And vary the scents. Now is a great time to be selling our holiday scents, so definitely want to include the majority of those holiday scents in that display. Also then, have on hand a variety of melts. And you can either sell this in the prepackaged bag that we receive the melts in, or you are free to break down those packets into smaller quantities of typically 2 melts in a little jewelry-sized bag that you can sell for $2 to $3. And this is really a nice alternative to maybe the higher-end price of one of our candles. If you're in a show that maybe has a little lower market, then sell the lower price items. Melt for $2 or $3, anybody can afford that. And then also it allows then your customers to have that variety where they can purchase several packs of different scents. So you just kind of put the scent label on those little Ziploc baggies and make those as a display. Now, one of the things that I always found very effective when doing shows was to have something of our specialty line. You don't need to have a lot of it, and honestly, I don't know that I sold a lot of it, but it always brought people into my booth. And I'm talking about something like in the bakery line, the hot apple pie, or something in the sculptured line. So like right now with the scarecrow sculptured, or with the Christmas The snowman. Those are very attractive, catches people's attention. It's different. No other candle company has things like our bakery and sculptured line. So make sure you have something out there that catches people's attention to draw them into the booth. And then, have a couple of the wax melters on hand as well. If your budget does allow, then have a couple of the Bath and Body products on hand. But again, don't overdo it. It's just, more of a means to expose people to our product line so that they do understand that we have things in addition to the candles. One of the most important pieces that you would want to be ordering in advance is the mini scent samples. Okay, these come in a box of 100, and I think off the top of my head it's about $24.95. So it's very reasonable for these mini scent samples to be handing those out. You want to have some product catalogs on hand, but don't feel that you need to hand out a catalog to every person that comes by. Those can be more expensive. So, save those for the ones that you've had conversation with or those that have, purchased from you. Go ahead and put a catalog in their bag of their product purchase. But then use those business cards and scent samples for handing out to, just about anybody that is stopping by. Those are very effective, cost-effective means of sharing the product. Wearing some labeled Sensations clothing is also very effective. I know right now I don't think we have much available, but if you have purchased something in the past that says Mia Bella Candles, whether it's one of our visors or the shirts or something that displays the company name, is always effective. And make sure that you do dress comfortably. You don't have to be dressing up in a suit, because one, you're going to be on your feet and you're going to be moving around and talking to people. Then again, you also are, whatever you're doing in any aspect of your business is always showcasing to somebody else what it's about. So the simpler you are, the more casually dressed you are. You want to be professional and looking good, but if you come off as too intimidating and too professional, then people may not think that that is something that they can do. So feel free to dress casually but professionally. And then you want to stand out at the front of your booth. Don't be one of those vendors that sits behind the table in a chair, caught up in your phone, paying attention to nothing but that. Give the visitors your attention. Stand out there. Be friendly. Be greeting them. And, stand there with those mini scent samples and your business card in hand. If you don't have business cards yet, you can simply place a label onto those little scent samples that would include your name, your website, your phone number. And, if you have room, you can put the scent sample name on there, if it's hot apple pie or, whatever it is. So just a little baggie with the melt and a label works just as well. And hand them out as the people walk by. And good icebreakers as people are approaching your booth is, ask a question. Try to engage them in conversation to see if they maybe would come into the booth to get a little more information. So you can ask questions like, have you ever heard of clean burning candles? Have you ever, heard of Mia Bella candles? And now with our new hemp oil candles, again, we're the only national candle company that features this product. So, ask them, have you ever heard of hemp oil candles? And I bet you the majority of those people are going to say, no, I haven't, and what are you talking about? So that's a great opportunity then for you to engage in conversation, invite them into the booth, and let them smell. Say, come on in. I've got one here for you. Let's take a look at it. And have the lids off of a few of the jars. That makes it less intimidating for someone to go ahead and pick up a jar and smell. We know that the best way to market our product is to have people smell it. So, some people sometimes are a little intimidated if you got a bunch of jars with a bunch of lids on it, and they may have, kids hanging on them or other bags in their hands, and it may not be real simple to take the lids off. So have some jars that are already lid-free. Ask them to, go ahead and take a smell. They're quite welcome to do so. You don't need to be pushy about it, but your goal is to get that candle under their nose so that they do have a chance to smell it. It's always effective to have a drawing at your booth. One of the main things that I think often gets overlooked is that people go to shows and they think the primary goal is to sell a bunch of product. And that is great and what we want to do. But one of the things that you do need to keep in mind is exposure. So the more people that hear about Mia Bell candles in your area through these repeated showings, the better it's going to be. So you're looking for business partners that will. And, there may be some shows that will specifically say, you can only sell products, you cannot recruit. There may be some shows that say you cannot sell product. Now, Sensations does not have that rule. There will be direct selling companies that do not allow their distributors to sell product at a show. They only can gather leads. So, we are able to sell products, so feel free to do that. But also, one of your prime objective is to get leads, people that you're going to be able to follow up with after the show. So you want to engage these people in conversation, see what it is that they're looking for. Are they, looking for just product? Are they looking for a fundraiser? Are they looking for an opportunity to make some extra money? So the more questions you ask, the more you get to know them. That's the best approach. Don't throw information at them about any of our product or company. The less you talk, the better it is. Let the candles do the talking. Let the visitor do the talking and sharing information about themselves. So if you've had a good conversation with somebody, ask them to go ahead and enter your company candle drawing. Now you can either just use that drawing that the company provides on a weekly basis where you would come home from that list and enter them into your company site's drawing. Or better yet, is you can offer a small product basket of your own. Again, remember this is wholesale product that you're paying for, not at retail, and it's a tax write-off. So any product that you give away or use at the show is all a tax write-off. So keep track of that. If you're burning a candle or using a wax melt or any of that product that you're using to market or display your product is a tax write-off. So, have a nicely little decorated basket there at the table and, offer to give that away then to your visitors. And you can get the little drawing slips from the company or on the Learn, Burn, and Earn resource page. There is a document that's, I think it says drawing slips. You can print that off. And then, if you've had a good conversation with somebody, jot a little note down on the back of that drawing slip so that it reminds you about the conversation that you had. If you're not using one of those and just using a piece of paper, make sure you're tracking what it is that the visitor is interested in. Did they express interest in doing a show on the go? Did they express interest in the business? So jot a little note down there and something personal about that person so that when you do follow up with them, you can say, I'm not sure if you remember me, but we met at this expo on Saturday, and I just wanted to follow up with you. You did express some interest in, doing a show on the go so that you can earn some of our Mia Bella products for free. So, jot some notes so that you have a personal conversation then when you are contacting them. In these kinds of shows, as I said, you're able to sell products. So you want to have a method of being able to collect payment. Now, in the olden days, cash and check was really the preferred method. Nowadays, people, including myself, hardly go anywhere with cash. So you really do want to invest in doing some research, at least, on using a payment method such as Square so that you're able to take credit and debit cards. There's other sources out there, but Square seems to be a very reasonable, manageable fee for you in order to take those credit cards. One method of being able to kind of non-threateningly introduce the business aspect at a show like this is when people ask you, how much does it cost? You're never hiding information, but you're never needing to be telling somebody the first thing that this 16-ounce candle costs $19.95. Let people experience the product and see the benefits first. And only then, if they're asking how much does this cost, then you can reply with, well, do you want to pay retail or do you want to pay wholesale? And most people are not going to say, well, retail, of course. They're going to say, well, I would like it as cheap as I can get it. And so this is giving you an opportunity then to mention to them either being a preferred customer, which really is our associate program, where they sign up to get product at wholesale, or if they do show some interest in making some money, then you can discuss the auto ship distributor program with them. And just be prepared to have a conversation about the opportunity to purchase our product at wholesale. Now, at these kinds of shows, a lot of the vendors will want to give a discount, a show discount. And you can do that. You can either say, at the show I'm offering 10% off of products, or whatever discount you feel you would like to offer. But I think a better approach is offering a discount in the form of buy two, get so much off. So when I did shows, the Bella bars, I never sold one. I always sold two, and they would get like $1 off by, $1 off of each bar by purchasing two. I almost always sold two. So the same thing with the candles. If somebody's going to buy 2 jars, give them a discount of $1 or $2 off of each jar, or, with their purchase, give them a Bella bar or a pack of melts. That was always my favorite, that with your purchase, you get to try another one of our product lines. So they may be purchasing candles, but then that gives you an opportunity to introduce them to, our Bella bar or the melts. And then, have some information on hand then when you are bagging your customer's product. Put either a business card or a flyer in there with every purchase that they make. If you have the catalogs, include that with it. But somewhere in that packet, you want to have something that alerts them to the fact that they have an opportunity to make money with the candles, that there is a distributorship program available. Even if they have not asked you anything about that and they're appearing to only be interested in buying candles, just put something into their bag so that they do see that. And then you do want to keep track of your inventory, what you've brought to the show, and then, check off what you sell so that when you do go home, you're able to keep track and do appropriate accounting. Excuse me. And then I mentioned earlier the, asking the promoter what they're going to do to advertise the business. But you also are, not the business, but the event. And then you want to be doing your own advertising as well. And that can be, calling up your previous customers in the local area and letting them know that you're going to be at a show. You can email them. If you have an emailing system like our Free to Relax Dream system that allows you to broadcast to your customers. Or if you're on social media, regardless of, it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you can make posts out there that you're going to be at such and such show and invite them to come and visit you at that show. And then, at the show, go ahead and take some pictures of your product and your setup and continue to engage in that social media. In setting up your display, you do want to, as I said, keep things simple, but try to have things on various levels. Don't just have everything flat on the table. People are their eye is attracted to different levels. So I always use shelving. You can, take your boxes and put those underneath your tablecloth so that it gives you different levels in which to stack the product. Using tablecloths is very professional. And if you have the ability to, if you're going to do several shows and that's going to be one of your methods of business building, then you may want to purchase one of the poster type signs or the banner signs that you can get from miabellaprinting.com, our company printer. And those are used, show after show. Anything that's visual that, when somebody walks by your booth, they should be able to quickly identify that you're with Miabella Candles. Don't, make it that they're having to hunt and wonder, who are you? Okay? If you have the ability to have electricity at your booth, then you may want to have a simmer pot going. That's usually a little safer than, burning a candle. But either way, if they allow you to do that, definitely get permission from the promoter to be able to burn or at least to melt. If you have an iPad, you can bring that along and have that at the booth. Those are, if there is, internet access, you can, use that to even have the customer purchase additional product from the website. say that they really want, if they're familiar with our product. Once I was doing shows, people knew the sweet orange and chili pepper. You could tell when somebody asks you for a sweet orange and chili pepper, they know our product, they've used our product, and they're very familiar with it. So if you don't have a specific scent on hand that they're familiar with, and you've got your company website and you've got that internet access, people can go right to the website and make a purchase. Remember, it's just a flat $5.95 shipping to their home. If you have a business page, have them like that. If you don't have that and you have a personal profile, ask them to get on and friend request you so that you can keep in touch and providing them, additional information about new products that come out. Recently we've had quite a few new products that have been introduced to our line, and that's an opportunity then to keep them abreast of what is, coming out that they may be interested in. Let me think, what else here? I think that's about the gist of it. I'm going to go ahead and unmute. We've got a couple minutes here, so I'll see if there's any questions that anyone has. But again, the LearnBurnandEarn.com, under the retail section, under the submenu, booths and shows, there is information on this method of retailing. There's a great document in there, Finding Success at Shows, so that will go into a little more specific details of some of the things that I've talked about. And then keep in mind then that we are doing this call the first and third Tuesday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're really trying to keep it to just 30 minutes so that everybody can get on and get some information to help in promoting your business. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute. And Allison or Sharon, if you have anything that you want to add, I know that you have done some shows, and if there's anything that you think that I might have missed that's really important, I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and share that with everyone. So let me get unmuted. Oh, maybe we... Okay, good. All right, so is anyone there that has a question or wants to add any additional information?
Hey, Kathy, this is Allison. I just want to say real quick, a very good point on the layers and building up height with crates and boxes and so forth, because that really gives good visibility, and the people, it really catches their attention. Another thing I want to add real quick, I love a black, classy table cover. It really stands out. It looks awesome. And even if you organize the candles by color, that looks good too. And one other thing real quick, what I've done, since candles are heavy, and sometimes people don't want to carry them around the whole show, I'll offer to hold the bag for them until they're finished shopping, and they can come pick it up before they leave. And they're really appreciative of that. So I just wanted to add that in there too.
Yes, no, very good idea. Very good. Sharon, anything you want to add?
No, I think you've covered pretty much whatever what I had in mind to say. But yeah, I do. I've a lot of these, especially in the fall, and they're a lot of fun to do. And even if you don't sell a whole lot, it's even if you don't sell a whole lot, it's just getting out and meeting people, getting our products out there, and getting your name out there. That's the big thing. So yeah, you're there to make some money, but you're also getting your name and Mia Bella out there.
Yep, absolutely. And every person that does that in your community then only enhances the success of your own business. The more people hear the name, the more they're going to, come looking for us. So, absolutely. I always view it as I can either, place an ad in a newspaper or, online somewhere and spend anywhere from, $25 to, $200 and may never get a single lead from that, or I can go out to do a show where I'm able to put that candle in front of somebody, and the chances of success is much higher doing it that way.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. There's just nothing like somebody smelling a candle and going, oh, that's cool. That's really different. That really smells like hot apple pie. And being able to share that we are very different in our product lines and unique amongst our competitors. One thing I'll say about that, you don't ever want to bash somebody else's company or product. It's okay to have jars on display, one of the Mia Bellas that burns even and clean, next to a competitor that either burns with black soot or that hollowing down the middle with all the wax left over on the side, but you want to be respectful and removing any labels from any other competitor. We are not there to bash anybody else, but it's very effective that, because people start to think that black soot is normal and okay, and they don't even know that there is an alternative, so that when you display both of the products and they go, wow, I didn't even realize that my candles are that black and ugly. When you put that next to a Mia Bella, now I understand. It's part of our job, again, is to make some money, but it's to educate people so that they do become more familiar with our products. So that's okay to show a comparison. Just don't, in the product, be labeling it or in your conversation, bad-mouthing another company. When people ask you something about a competitor, a good response tends to be, well, I don't know about them, but I do know this, and go ahead into the benefits of what Mia Bella has to offer. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Colette.
Hi.
I'm back from a few years ago.
Okay.
And I'm a little more curious about the hemp candles. I'm not real familiar with them because they weren't available when I was in last time. So I know I've read a little bit. Allison's my sponsor, and I've read a little bit, as far as what's in the group. Can somebody tell me a little bit more about them?
Well, the candle is still the palm wax, so it's the same formula. So the hemp oil doesn't necessarily change the performance of the candle, but it does.
Okay.
It's kind of just a unique alternative product. It's becoming very popular. Again, we've always moved along that green, natural line since the very beginning when we started with soy. So it's kind of the new soy. We've gone through various stages of a product or an ingredient being popular in the marketplace. So it's the thing is trying to produce products in crops that the American farmer can utilize, and that's what Charlie was just posting, that some farm, I forget what state it was in, has now been given permission to start producing hemp oil. So
okay, yeah.
Colette, I just tagged you in that post Charlie posted in the official group this morning. So I just tagged you in it. Take a look at that article. It's really good.
Okay. Yeah, because somebody asked me, is hemp oil cannabis?
No, I mean, it's not. I'm not real an expert on this, myself, but I mean, it's still the material, but it's not marijuana that you get high on. Burning the candles is not going to have a psychedelic effect on you. That's
okay.
What it is.
Okay, that was kind of like a question that was question mark in my head, because I was like, that was a question that came up to me, and I thought, well, I don't know the answer to that, and so I need to find out.
Yes. No, that's not what it is at all. But it does kind of go. They named it the Free Spirit line, so it kind of goes along with that 60s, mentality of that, that free spirit. But no, there's no drug effect to the hemp oil being in the candles at all. There's a lot of products, and Charlie has posted some things on the groups, but if you just search hemp oil or hemp products, it's used in clothing. It's just, there's so many products now that are being used. I think it's a stronger fiber, and there's just lots of things that it is used for nowadays.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Well, we've kind of met our 30-minute mark here. So, again, if there's any further specifics that you want, you can find that on the site, and then go to the Light Your Dream Team Facebook group to ask any questions that you have from this call or any of that reading material from the training site. And then make sure you mark on your calendar then the first Tuesday in October, and we'll get together and do this again. So thanks, everyone, for being on the call. I really appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit more, to help your business. And as you start doing these shows, be sure to post in the group, some of the things that you've learned, some of the experiences that you've had. We'd like to hear about what you've been doing. Okay, so thank you, everyone, for being on the call, and have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.